Um, in the last 5 days, with the transfer of power to a different administration, I've found myself more liberated to talk about the QAnon thing. Before, although I was, it was always something that I doubted. It was never something that I really thought was real or took seriously. I still had the faintest hope that maybe it was real, and I didn't want to, poor mouth it, because I don't know, maybe there were white hats up in, high places who were going to achieve all these great things, and mass arrests were going to happen of all of these evil people who rule the various industries that run the world, and including the government and the banking system and everywhere else, all the other people in high places who do these kinds of things. I was, I basically had, I was basically 95 to 98% sure that it wasn't real, but I didn't want to poor mouth it, and I also didn't want it to, I didn't want to speak ill of those who were in its thrall, because, again, as I've said a couple times before, I thought they were generally good people and that we were on the same side. Since, it's become obvious now, it's indisputably obvious that it was a hoax, that it was a psyop, that it was not real. Although there are still some people who seem to think that maybe it still could be real, unbelievably. I guess I shouldn't find that unbelievable, but I do. I just anyway. I feel more comfortable talking about it now, and I'm remembering now certain things that just struck me as, whoa, that's just way out there. I mean, I just don't think this is going to happen. But there were people who were so confident that it was going to happen, including dear Isaac Cappy. He was sure in his last message that he left, and I like Isaac. I'm Team Isaac all the way. I think he was telling the truth. I want to make that clear. But the last message that he sent said something about how made a reference to the return of the king, which was going to happen supposedly on July 4th, and this was 2019. So so I looked into this whole return of the king, what do you call it, motif or meme or reference that people were making, people into Q were making at the time. And what they were basically saying was there was going to be this triumphant return of JFK Jr. was going to happen. JFK Jr. was going to reveal to the world that he wasn't really dead, and he was going to ride in, and it would become clear that he was, in fact, Q. He was the force behind Q, and I think he was going to become the vice president under Trump. And this was all going to happen on July the 4th. And I looked up some places where people were saying this, and people were saying, oh, well, here, look, this person's giving a speech here, and look, it's JFK Jr. Standing behind her. He's just kind of disguised as somebody else, and just bizarre stuff like that. And there were times, when the lockdown first went into effect, and I was just bummed about it and angry about it. Not that I'm not still angry about it, but in March and April, I was really fit to be tied about what they were doing to the world. But I remember there were Q people saying, no. This is all just a smokescreen. This is how the mass arrests are going to be made. They've got to just shut everything down. They've got to shut down the entire economy. And then, under cover of all of this, you'll see these mass arrests start to be made. And they had, I don't know, they had, signs here or there that this was happening, that was happening, this was about to happen, that was about to happen. That was another thing. Every time I heard somebody say, this is about to happen, this is about to go down, it's going down, meaning it hasn't gone down yet, but it will very soon. I just got so tired of that, hearing that it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Fucking show me it happening, and then I'll believe it. Don't keep telling me it's about to happen. There was it's like, I think that's a way of really messing with people's minds. The Bible verse, hope deferred maketh the heart sick. That is what you do to people. You make the heart sick. You make their hearts sick when you keep telling them this is about to happen. That's about to happen. It's about to go down. It's going down. The storm is coming. The storm is on its way. And again, most of the people that I was hearing from were the victims. They weren't the ones perpetrating all of this. So, and I once QAnon got targeted and QAnon people started, getting censored and getting taken off of platforms and stuff. I was, I became even more reluctant to say anything negative about them, because they were suffering persecution. They were suffering deplatforming and censorship. They were being told to shut up, which I didn't think that made them legit. I didn't think that made their points legit. I still thought it was it was hope porn, essentially. But I didn't want to kick people while they were down when I thought they were good people, generally speaking, even if overly credulous. But like I said, there were smart people who believed in Q. There were, they weren't just all credulous dummies, writing in all caps under on some comment section, in YouTube or elsewhere. Some of them were smart people. And let's see, what else am I remembering? Oh, I'm just, there were all kinds of things that were so bizarre. I think I talked about with Tom Hanks and with Ellen DeGeneres. People looking at videos saying, oh, well, that's not really him hosting Saturday Night Live from his house. That's not really him. He's been taken out. There, that I guess was another thing, was that they would say, and I mean, they would say similar things about Ellen DeGeneres as well. And I'm not a fan of either of those two. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking up for either of them. But